Chapter 94, Callum. We did it. Jude was jubilant. We already did it. Pete and Morgan danced an impromptu jig around each other. Yes, we had done it. We had Persephone Hadley, Kamal Hadley's daughter, and she wouldn't see the light of day again if Kamal didn't agree to our demands. As simple as that. We bundled the unconscious Seffi into the trunk of our car, and now we had her stashed away where no one would ever find her, or us. We were in the middle of nowhere, the perfect location. Weren't we clever? I'm proud of you, little brother, Jude slapped me on the back. I spun, grabbed his jacket, and shoved him against the wall all in one movement. Don't you ever doubt my loyalty again. Do you understand me? I hissed, my face only inches away from Jude's. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Morgan step forward, only to be pulled back by Pete. I didn't care. I'd take on all of them to get to Jude if I had to. My brother and I watched each other for silent moments. Do you understand? I repeated, slamming him against the wall again. I understand, Jude said. I released him at once. We regarded each other. So the mouse can roar, Kenny, Jude smiled. I took a step forward, my fists clenched. Peace, brother, peace. Jude held up his hands, laughing at the expression on my face. I clenched my fists even harder at that. Never before had I wanted to hurt him as much as I did now. I wanted to destroy him. Hatred churned inside me, feeding on itself and growing bigger. You did a good job, Jude told me softly. I turned away from the approbation on his face. Morgan, Pete, and even Layla had the same look of praise and admiration all over their stupid faces, too. What's our next move? Pete asked Jude. All past resentments forgotten. We deliver the ransom note with proof we have her to the girl's father, Jude replied. What kind of proof? I asked, more sharply than I'd intended. What would you suggest, little brother? Another test. I'll sort that out. I'll cut off some of her hair and film her holding today's paper. Maybe we need something more convincing than just her hair, Jude suggested. Another test. What did you have in mind? You tell me, little brother. It made my mind go blank. It wasn't Seffi in there. It was just some cross female who we needed to get what we wanted. It wasn't Seffi. Something of her that's bloodstained might be more effective, I suggested. Good idea, Jude nodded. What would you suggest? Leave it to me. I'll sort that out, too. I took the camcorder down from the shelf and put a fresh disc inside it. A strange silence filled the room. I looked up to find all eyes on me. Yes, I said through gritted teeth. Everyone made a big display of going about their business at that. I took some scissors and a sharp knife out of the drawer, and tucking today's paper under my arm, I headed for Seffi's prison cell. I walked along the short corridor of our 3-room brick cabin. It wasn't much. The kitchen was disgusting, with years of neglected grease and grime over practically every surface. Jude had suggested that someone clean it, pointedly looking at Layla as he said so. In response, she let her fingers do the talking. Apart from the kitchen, there was the living room, full of rolled-up sleeping bags, a small oak table, and all the equipment we might need in a hurry. Tins of food, weapons, a few explosives, a small TV, a radio, that sort of thing. The 3rd room had been turned into a cell. Not by us. That was just what this place was used for, a place to hold a prisoner or two and their wardens. Ever since the information had been filtered down over 2 weeks ago, now that Seffi could be on her way home, Jude and Pete had been plotting and planning for this moment. They'd gotten permission from the general himself to go ahead, and the general's second-in-command was due to come and see us the day after it happened. So much scheming and calculating to bring us to this moment. We were pretty safe in this cabin. It was known to select few on a need-to-know basis only. But we weren't going to take any chances. 2 of us would be on guard at all times, one out front and one out back. And as the cabin was in a clearing in some woods, anyone coming toward us would find themselves without cover of any kind before they reached us. Everything was taken care of. And we succeeded. We had Seffi. No, not Seffi. Just a cross girl who deserved everything she got, who got us everything we needed. I paused outside the cell door. I could do this. I had to do this. Be what you have to be, Callum, not what you are. I repeated the phrase over and over in my head, the way I used to when I first joined the LM, the way I had whenever there was something distasteful that needed to be done. Be what you have to be, Callum, not what you are. I unlocked the cell door and went inside.